So, good afternoon. Let us start biomedical waste management chapter. So, what is the meaning of this biomedical waste management? Why it is required? Because we are working in the hospital or a clinical setup. So, lot of infectious waste and non-infectious waste are created that need to be disposed properly. Otherwise, it may cause health hazard, occupational hazard, environmental problems, problems to the hazard, problems to the public. It may spread the disease. All those things will cause. So, biomedical waste means any waste which is generated or has been used in the diagnosis, treatment, even immunization of animal or in research labs, animal house, or any place, it may pose a substantial threat to health. So, that is biomedical waste. So, it is the responsibility of the laboratory personnel or any healthcare personnel to ensure safe and correct disposal of all the waste produced in the course of their work. It may be lab, it may be radiology department, or it may be OT, anesthesia, whatever. And remember that improper and irresponsible disposal of chemical waste, it may lead to problems. So we have to be very careful with that. So you can see actually what it shows is about different colors: general, infectious, pathological, chemical, and sharp waste. You can see about maximum 70% is general waste, remaining 19% infectious, green is pathological, and less percentage chemical and sharp, that need to be disposed separately. So as I told you, there are different sources of biomedical waste. We are only think of hospital. Not only that, there are small setups like clinics and dispensaries, and private laboratories, tertiary healthcare laboratories, collection centers, okay, research laboratories, animal house, training centers, okay, where they even camps where they use needle, syringes, all those things, blood banks and collection centers, mortuaries, animal house, slaughterhouse, biotechnology institutions, vaccinating centers. There are many healthcare activities which generate lot of biomedical waste. So there are all are as risk. Who is at risk? That is the question. So doctors are at risk, nurses, sanitary staff, hospital maintenance personnel, and all the technical staffs, and even patients who receive the treatment also at risk, because hospital based infection may occur from improper disposal of biomedical waste. And who visit in the hospital, workers in waste disposal facility, scavengers, general public. Nowadays it is less, or there is a possibility of some government hospital behind some children playing with their items, accidentally they come in contact with this waste material. All this possibility is there. So it is a teamwork to handle biomedical waste. So there are, what are hazard? Hazard meaning is anything that cause injury, that is hazard. So it may cause anything that cause injury or damage to our body is called hazard or hazardous substances. So what are the different types of possible hazard due to improper handling of biomedical waste? So we can say infection, chemical toxicity, because lot of chemicals used in the lab, formalin, alcohols and all, even radioisotopes. Very careful, we have to handle physical injuries possible by syringes, glasswares and all, scalpels, needles. Radioactive, as I told, we have to handle with separate containers and all. Genotoxicity or cytotoxicity that may damage DNA. Such drugs or any other items we have to handle. Public sensitivity issue also if you are throwing everywhere. So these are the types of hazard. So I am sending the notes separately, so no need to worry. So there are classification we can, one of type of classifications is there are 9 types of biomedical waste. Infectious, mainly lab culture, waste from isolations, pathological containing human tissue or fluid, which is sent to pathology lab from OTs and surgery department for further investigation whether it is cancerous or non-cancerous. So third one is sharp, which include all syringes, needles, scalpels, broken glass. Fourth one is pharmaceutical items, expired drugs, contaminated bottles, solutions. Fifth one is the genotoxic waste, cytotoxic drugs, genotoxic chemicals. Chemical waste mainly lab reagent, it may be chloroform, chlorhexidine or general formalin, methane or alcohol, whatever used in the lab reagent. 7 is waste with heavy metal like lead, mercury, which is used in the battery, thermometer and all. 8th one, pasteurized containers, mainly gas cylinders, pressurized containers, that is the mainly we use for gas cylinders or even aerosol cans and all. 9th one is radioactive material, unused liquid from radiography, contaminated glassware, that is possible in medical imaging, and some process radioimmunoassay and all we used in the lab also. So these are the 9 types of biomedical waste. So there are different steps in the biomedical waste management. So segregation, meaning is separation. We have to separate different types: sharp separate, infectious separate, non-infectious separate, chemicals separate, liquid separate, radioactive separate, like that. So we have to separate it. Store sometimes we cannot dispose immediately, we have to disinfect or disposal. The area is far from us, we have to store at least 24 to 48 hours. Storage also, certain rules and regulations are there. So third one is the transportation, how to transport, and treatment. Some we have to make it infectious to non-infectious or least infectious, or we can degrade it. All those things comes under treatment and disposal, whether we are putting under the water or we are burning it or we are treating it, making it a simpler one, or reducing the size and all these. Segregation, storage, transport, treatment and disposal, these are the different steps in biomedical waste management. So these are the different steps in biomedical waste management. So different categories of waste. This there is a chance of we get segregation of biomedical waste. So you have to remember same category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and accordingly what is waste. Suppose 6 means solid waste, 7 is solid waste. Okay, same category you have to remember alphabet, this numbering wise. 1 comes under human anatomical waste, 2 is animal waste, 3 is microbiology biotechnology waste, 4 is waste sharp, 5 discarded medicine and cytotoxic drugs, 6 soiled, 7 solid waste. Okay, soiled is infectious. Okay, 8 is liquid waste, it may be chemicals and all. 9th incineration, ash, Incineration, as we will see next one. 10 is chemical waste. Okay, so these are the 10 categories of waste, biomedical waste. So for these 10 categories we use different types of container, like Indian system and WHO, World Health Organization, and these systems vary slightly different, this one codings and all, but we will see one type of category. This one, segregation, means here segregation means separation of different types of waste, means what type of different types of containers used. So human anatomical waste, plastic, animal, and even microbiology and biotechnology waste, all three. Plastic bags, color code is in yellow, and microbiology yellow red is used. Waste sharp puncture proof containers are used, usually blue or white, sometimes yellow also used, as per WHO. Discarded medicine and cytotoxic drugs, we use plastic bag, black, because it is non-infectious. Solid soiled waste, plastic bags, yellow red is used. Solid waste, plastic bag, blue. All disposable plastics, blue bag is used. Liquid, there is no separate containers they use, so we have to make it non-infectious and dispose it separately. Incineration, ash, plastic bag, that is black, because it is non-infectious mostly, except some traces of radioactive materials may be there. 10 is chemical waste, that is solid, plastic bag, black is used. So this is the biohazard waste container symbol. Biohazard waste container shall be clearly marked with the universal biohazard symbol, that is, you can see that in the middle is universal biohazard symbol. Okay, that is the color also and the symbol. Okay, there is no meaning for that symbol, that is universal symbol. If you see on the wall or on the container anywhere, this symbol, this is for biohazard, dangerous. Okay, it may be infectious, hazardous, radioactive, and all. So there are different color codings, 1 to 3, these categories. What are those categories? Yeah, these 1 to 3, as I told you, these are the categories. Okay, 1 2 3 4, same categories. Okay, color codings, they are showing different. Category 4 7 blue, cat 5 9 10 black, cat 3 6 7 red, cat 1 2 3 6 yellow. So same, it is repeated, red, blue, and black. Okay, so this is just showing different colored segregation, separation bins. Okay, blue bags and different containers. Okay, so this is puncture proof, especially for sharp, like even slides, glass, and syringes and all. Okay, so so where to keep these containers? All containers having different colored plastic bags should be located at the point of generation of waste. That is very important. Suppose if you are collecting the blood near your collection area, side by, you have to keep puncture proof, this one, sharp container, and black bag also for non-infectious. So it is that it is very important to keep at the point of generation of waste. That place you have to keep near the diagnostic service area. So bags should be ensured that bags are filled up to only 3/4 capacity, not overflowing or full, 3/4 capacity, tied securely and removed from the site of generation regularly and timely. That is also important. You are not supposed to keep there and go. So it should be kept in safe place. Categories of waste may need pre-treatment, decontamination, disinfection, like autoclaving and at the site of generation. So storage, as I told, if necessary, you can store for 48 hours. Permission is required. So no untreated biomedical waste should be stored beyond 48 hours. So this is the general vehicle. You can see four side closed, and there is biohazard symbol there, used for transport of this biomedical waste. Transportation, wheeled trolley with a use. Trolley have to be cleaned daily, and it should not have sharp edges, because there is a chance of this one injury, and because it contains the biohazard materials, dangerous. Okay. So outside the hospital shall be transported only vehicle authorized by the competent authority as specified by rules and regulations of government. So even untreated waste, specially designed vehicles. So see, their symbol is there, biomedical waste. Okay. So inside hospital we can use trolley. Outside this type of vehicle. Okay. So treatment separation you have seen means different color codes. When the question of treatment comes, there are different types. Briefly, if you see, incineration, chemical disinfection, wet and dry thermal treatment, screw-fed technology, microwave irradiation, land disposal, inertization. These are some of the treatment procedure for biomedical waste. Not all used. Some places, some takes more importance. Okay, this again repetition. I don't want to go again further. Treatment different cat 1 and 3, incineration, deep burial, microbial, solid and soiled, autoclaving, microwaving, chemical treatment, cat 4, that is waste, sharp and solid waste, autoclaving, microwaving, chemical treatment, discarded medicine, incineration, ash, that is a small spelling mistake is there, incineration, ash, and even chemical waste disposed in secured landfill possible. Okay, secured landfill. Okay. So what is incineration? Meaning is burn completely to ash in a big vessel, that is furnace. Burn completely to ash in a furnace. So waste to be incinerated shall not be chemically treated with any chlorinated disinfectant. The ash produced by the incinerator should be sent for secure landfilling. Should also be periodically checked for toxic metals. So it is burning in very high temperature. Okay. So temperature may be above 800 to 1000 degree. This is the incineration unit. Okay. Big hospitals we can see, or some places away from the much crowded areas. Second is autoclaving, which also known as simple as steam sterilization, and is the most commonly used alternative to incineration. Okay. In this method, wastes are sterilized or disinfected prior to disposal to landfill, because mainly infectious waste they are disinfected by using autoclaving technique. Autoclaving means here the steam, actually water boils above 100 degree when electricity and both vacuum pressure is applied. Okay, that is the principal act autoclaving. So certain pressure and heating under the pressure this water boils above 100 degree centigrade, so that penetrating power of these vapors increases. So sterilization is more effective in autoclaving. So bags of waste are placed in the chamber and steam is introduced for a determined period of time at a specified pressure, Ibix we measure, and temperature. Okay, so suppose 121 degree for 15 Ibix, 15 minutes, like that. This assures the destruction of microorganisms. Approximately 90% of regulated medical waste are suitable for autoclaving, particularly microbial waste. Otherwise, there is a spread of there is a chance of communicable disease, contamination, and all. We have to disinfect using autoclave. Okay. So next is chemical disinfection. This process involves the use of chemical agent for disinfection, mainly chlorine. Okay. This is most appropriate for liquid waste, although they can still be used for solid waste. Next is microwave irradiation. Most microorganisms are destroyed by action of microwaves of a frequency of about 2450 MHz and wavelength of 12.24 centimeter. The water contained within the waste is rapidly heated by the microwave and the infectious components are destroyed by heat conduction. Okay. So next is screw feed technology. Screw feed technology is the basis of a non-burn dry chemical disinfection process in which waste is shredded and heated in a rotating auger, okay, a drilling type, that is the machine. So here it is a non-burn technique, not like incineration. This is a non-burn technique, dry thermal disinfection process in which water is shredded and heated in a rotating auger. The waste is shredded to particles about 25 millimeter diameter. Okay, they are cut into particles of 25 millimeter diameter. So screw fed technology, waste enters the auger machine, which is heated to a temperature of 110 to 140 by oil circulating through its central shaft. The waste rotates through the auger for 20 minutes, after which residues are compacted. So here the size of the waste is reduced by 80% in volume and by 20 to 30% by weight. So size of the waste is reduced in volume, also in weight. In volume about 80% volume is reduced because it is cut into fine, okay, about 25 millimeter diameter. Okay, so size is reduced, also weight about 20 to 35% reduced. This process is suitable for treating infectious waste and sharps, but it should not be used for pathological, cytotoxic or radioactive waste. Okay, so there is a limitation. So next is deep burial, means land filling. Location of the deep burial site will be authorized by prescribed authority by the government, and it should be distant from residential area. That we have to careful, and it should not be, you should be ensure that no contamination occur of any surface waste or groundwater. So where there is a near the sea or near the water source area, not supposed to, and we have to avoid residential areas. There are certain rules, regulation from the government, means it is usually away from the town or city. Okay, and we have to sure that it should not contaminate with the surface water or ground water. The area should not be prone to flooding and erosion. Why? Because again there is a chance of this waste is mixed with the flood water and it spreads everywhere. Okay, so such land, hard and land away from the safe land is from the residential area is shown. These are some of the do and should not do. What is the precautions? And no need to worry much. So only you will get some maximum 5 marks short note in this chapter. Mainly it based on segregation, means separation of biomedical waste. You should remember 1 to 10. Like 1 is anatomical waste, like you have to remember. Then what is the different color codings mainly. So these are the some points. Never mix infectious and non-infectious. Never mix chlorinated waste with the waste which goes incineration. Okay, never overfill the bin, only 3/4 you have to fill. Never store waste beyond 48 hours. There are different close points they are given. Avoid transport of waste through crowded area. Don't dispose waste sharp with other waste, because there is a chance of injury also. First of all, those are handling. Don't dispose the solid waste and sharp waste without ventilation and disinfection. So these are the some of the points to remember. This is about in brief about biomedical waste management.